Start.
Uh, Hello and welcome, guys, to another episode of Reverse Sweep Podcast. We are on our way to reach 72 before Virat Kohli does, as promised. We are in episode number 31, and today we have been joined by one of India's very special person, Mr. Rishabh Agrawal, who has taken out his precious time to join us for the podcast. And also, City is making a comeback because DC is
My
performing well.
pleasure. My pleasure.
Yeah, and Sid is making a comeback after a long just because DC is performing well, and so he's out of his cave now currently after a long time. So yeah,
If
welcome
finally
back.
we win the IPL, then I will go back into the cave and have a comeback mode.
And we have Pranav with us. So today we will be discussing about how
Back
the
after illness. All of us are back after a break.
yeah, I am back from hospital and I don't know what's
Same.
going on, but yeah. So
Same.
so today we will be discussing about the second leg of IPL, which has been quite boring, I would say. Apart from one or two matches, it has been pretty low scoring with all the slow wickets, which was never expected out of the Dubai wickets, which was very shocking to everyone, I believe. Like no one expected the wickets to be this low. Average score, I believe, is around 130, 140 in different venues. But apart from that, so I will start with Pranav on his views on who has looked the best side so far, and what do you think has been the major reason of that side doing well? Is it the condition, the slow wickets, or what do you think, Pranav?
Right. So, as you said, it's been really surprising how the wickets have played because I thought as well, like since last year as well, IPL started exactly the same day, my birthday, incidentally, and we saw really good wickets in the IPL and some other pitches, especially Dubai and Abu Dhabi, had good carry. Even Sharjah, we were lambasting how such a legendary ground had become so easy to smack sixes and fours on, and this year it's like a complete 360. There's hardly any pitch which you can think of as even a 160 pitch, and forget 180. In fact, RCB totally demolished MI when they were just chasing 160 odd when we thought they should have got 180 the way they were batting. So it's been a real surprise the way pitches have played. Who knows? Maybe because of the heat in UAE, the pitches are have probably maybe worn out. I'm not sure. I mean, I don't think much cricket anyway was played before this, so that's a little surprising as to why it's happening. Or maybe since BCCI event, they have asked them to make slower pitches so that the Indian players and team can adjust and be prepared for the World Cup. But in the World Cup, we're going to have fresh pitches primarily. So I don't know. I mean, it has been a little bit boring in that sense because of after India's Test series, the highs of that IPL has been slightly, a bit of a lull, and that too second phase mein aaya hai. So it's felt a little bit, dull in that sense. But of course, Delhi has been the best team, the best rounded bowling attack, no doubt. Apart from, I think, which was the game they lost to KKR where they had really an off day. They've been absolutely
But
spot on.
still one batsman and
Yeah.
it
But
was
Delhi has easily been the best team. And of course, CSK, I guess, if the conditions are going to be slow, then CSK is always going to be a dangerous side. And they've proven it. And especially the Mumbai match from 24 for 4, the way they came back. And Ruturaj Gaikwad has been just phenomenal. And CSK again, somehow this year the approach has been totally different to last year, and they're sitting second in the table. And even in against Delhi, if Gautam had taken the catch, they would have probably been on top. So Delhi and CSK been the best teams, but Delhi has been most impressive in my opinion.
Uh,
Closely followed. RCB has been the team that has, you can say, been impressive as well as we saw today. RCB of old and great, of course. AB de Villiers and choking is not a new story. I mean,
Proper RCB chase.
I can't understand why. I mean, I know he has smashed Holder before, especially in that World Cup game, which I think Holder, I don't know if he has recovered yet, but he tried something extravagant instead of taking a single and perhaps facing all 6 balls against Bhuvi. But credit to Bhuvi, who hasn't always looked his best this event, but under huge pressure, like of course SRS are not going to do anything, but for his own place in the
Pride.
Indian team,
Yeah.
he has done a real good job, and I'm very happy for him. And I think most people like Bhuvaneshwar, even though we're critical of him, but good that he was able to keep ABD at bay. So, I mean, yeah, it's been interesting IPL. You can say part two. I'd like to know what Rishabh and Siddharth also
Yeah.
think. Are they also
So
have felt?
yeah,
board or
that-
their.
Yeah, so those are pretty good points. So I would like to ask Rishabh on what has changed with KKR. Like we have seen in the first phase, they were like beaten down by every other team. They had like 2 victories out of 7, I believe. They
Yeah,
were
two
2
set.
out of 7, and now
Yeah.
they are the front runners in getting to the playoff slot. So उनका जो progress रहा है, is it due to the pitches suiting them more than the Indian wickets, or have they changed something?
Uh, Narayan has been good. So has been Varun Chakravarti. He was good in the first phase also, but he has been consistent in the second phase. But mostly Sunil Narayan, he wasn't up to his in the first phase, but he has been pretty good and pretty decent in the second phase with the ball, and we saw that with the bat how he changed the game and won it for KKR. So I think their bowling and also X factor Venkatesh Iyer. Uh, Pretty much he has done his part both bowling wise and batting wise, and I think that Venkatesh Iyer has been a very prominent player for in bringing KKR to what position they are in.
Yeah, but that
Secondly,
if you
huh,
talk about Venkatesh Iyer, that brings up another question about how badly managed KKR is. Because if you have a player of that caliber, like if you had that player and they have been telling that he has been doing in he has been doing well in net so far, and he has a great domestic season as well, where he smashed some 180, 190 runs against some team. So that also brings up a question on the management, because they were trying Narayan in the opening and then they tried different combination as well with Rana, which was not clicking. So did KKR miss out on getting a
true.
your player like Venkatesh Iyer in the mix earlier than they did?
True, but you see, IPL is a very big event, and it's not easy always to scout these youngsters and bring them onto this stage and see that how they perform. So yeah, but also how Nitish Rana wasn't doing badly at the opening, but also then they promoted Venkatesh Iyer to the opening slot, and he has been quite good. So I think that they should be commended for that.
Yeah, that is good, and it is good for India as well, because we have been looking for that ball all rounder who can bowl pace as medium pace or pace as well. So I'm not saying we should get
I
him
mean, that
as
is
So
soon.
are
that is
you
far
are you
fetched.
saying that India should start
As of
looking
now,
beyond
that is
Hardik
far
Pandya
fetched.
now, Piyush?
No, I'm
Hardik
not
Pandya is
saying.
not going to
Great
play
entry
with
from
Yeah,
Darshi.
yeah.
with Rahul here.
We should definitely we should. But
No,
yeah,
I am not saying about
as
you,
far as
Rishabh.
Venkatesh
I
Iyer is
agree, we
concerned,
should. But is Piyush saying that? That's the big thing.
one
yeah,
more point I would like to
yeah,
mention. Yeah, as Pranav bhai said that the pitches were quite slow and sluggish, so it might have happened that BCCI would have ordered the curators to play these kind of pitches, but I don't think that in ICC event the pitches would be like this because it
Exactly.
would be quite
They are
neutral
saying
in
that they are
ICC
teetering
event.
off. I
So
think
that
now
that
he
that
is
doesn't
the
make
picture.
sense. I mean, if yeah, I mean it doesn't make sense if the BCCI has anything to do with that. The
Yeah,
pitch is
no,
getting slower and
uh,
sluggish.
I made the
Yeah.
point because at the same space last year the pitches were so good in the UAE. So 1 year on, such a total difference. So that's why I was wondering why
True.
suddenly we're seeing such a difference. So I just had
I
a
mean,
thought that came in my mind. Just has, in case is that the reason? Maybe I don't know. I mean,
matlab
I
it's
can't actually find a
if
logical
BCCI,
reason. So that's why I just thought of something.
yeah, means I mean I only mean that if BCCI has something to do with that, and then it would be completely illogical to do that for an ICC event because that would not
yeah.
depend on yeah.
No,
BCCI
I
is
mean
just
like
I think it will take
assuming
a
that
while for
pitches
the
will be
pitches to kind
similar
of
because
start
they have picked
easing
five
out.
spinners and
no,
three
no. The
pacers.
ICC decided that the first phase before the main group stage starts, they'll use Oman so that that much time the wickets get some time to get fresher.
Correct.
So
Hmm.
I mean, this thought just came to mind that even if the wickets are fresh, at some stage or the other in the T20 World Cup, the pitches will slow down and help spin. So my point was that
Probably by
yeah,
like the later
right.
knockout.
So my point was maybe BCCI
So
wants the players to Indian players especially to get used to it. Maybe just an offhand thought. I'm not saying for sure.
You
Right?
are right. thinking that you're thinking more than BCCI is probably thinking at this stage.
Okay,
I'm thinking more than Virat Kohli for sure. I'm thinking more than.
Okay,
That's all of us do.
Yes, Siddharth will agree.
Let's move to
Virat
Siddharth.
Kohli's thinking was sending Dan Christian at number 3 and sending AB de Villiers at number
In Virat Kohli's defense, Siddharth, I would like to point out that Dan Christian has been the most consistent performer. Has consistently scored 1 run. So please, that's 1 run sure. You are adding
Virat
1 on the
Kohli
total.
just knows that, if you need 1 run to win in the final, whom to send.
Exactly.
So just moving on to
But
the
I'm
different
not
topic.
getting why they are not sending AB de Villiers above the order in small targets.
Because
he has
that-
been up to his
Villiers
form in the
at 6 makes no sense.
second.
Even 5
second
is
leg.
like 2 spots too low for him.
Arey,
6 is just
I'd
criminal.
you
like
have
to
to
add
take
one
the best
thing.
batsman you can possibly have, and then you should make him play at 5.
That's
the-
Virat's
Yeah.
master stroke.
I'd like to add that I would like to say that congratulations to Devdutt Padikkal on entering Thala Academy of Test Knocks. What a beautifully crafted innings that totally took RCB out of the game. I mean,
Yes, he's
41 of
learning from his
52.
opening partner.
But
Yes.
Virat told that it was a good to have a setter batsman at one end and Maxwell to accelerate. He was telling that was the game plan. According to
That is the team mentality now somehow.
See,
That
Virat
one guy-
Kohli's game plan is defined by how the match goes. He does not have it beforehand. So once the match is done, then he formulates a game plan that will explain how the match
Yeah,
went.
Yeah,
so
when like the
let's-
no ball issue, the no ball.
let's not
couple of years
go
ago.
to Virat.
Let's
back.
not-
Anyway,
Yeah, I know.
anyway.
Let's move
Yeah.
to City. So Siddharth, DC has been fairly consistent on both the legs. You see the Indian leg and now, but do you think they have the enough confidence this time to go and lift the trophy with? Because how the pitches are playing and we have seen Akshar Patel bowling. He has been phenomenal so far in all the matches. Even though Ashwin has been slightly not up to his best, even though the pitches might have supported him, but that might be due to him bowling in power play more. But
Yeah.
do you think that DC have enough in them this time to go and lift that trophy?
Yeah, I think like now DC don't have any excuses now. Like earlier it was, oh, this is a young core. They don't have the playoff experience now. Delhi have been 3rd and 2nd in a row. They've played a final. They've won a knockout. Until 2019, Delhi had not won a single knockout in their history. So now they have the experience of getting there and doing that. But yeah, I don't think Delhi have any more excuses. Now it's on the likes of Iyer and Pant. Now they've gotten so much experience and now they're so representing India at the highest level. So I think that this is probably Delhi's best chance, given how Mumbai Indians, the team who beat Delhi 4 times last year, is struggling. But then again, I think like it will be very tricky to beat the likes of Chennai, who have so much big game experience, and their captain has so much big game experience, unlike Delhi's captain, who's the first timer. And
Siddharth, who are you referring to Delhi's captain as? A good question here.
on-field captain.
Let's clarify. We all should be in
On-field captain
agreement
is-
that Delhi's captain is Ricky Ponting and no one else.
On-field captain, and then if somehow Mumbai sneak in, you know that they will also be unstoppable, because that's how it goes. If somehow they make the playoffs, they will smash everyone. But I think, Delhi don't have any excuses this time. Just the only concern I have in the team composition is Stoinis' injury, because Delhi don't really have a 6 bowler or a finisher. They've been playing with players such as Ripple Patel and Lalit Yadav, going with 3 foreigners. So lack of like that 6 bowling option might cause worry, but hopefully Stoinis is fit
पर
enough.
मतलब ये
I think
IPL में
Delhi's
धोनी को
middle
ज्यादा
order
कुछ
also is
करने
a
को आया नहीं है.
little bit worrisome, because if you remember in the previous game, needlessly Pant and what's his name, Iyer
Against
got out
Mumbai?
and they
Against
against
Chennai.
Chennai. I mean, the game should have been won within 17 or 18 overs, and
But
it went.
it's nice that at least Hetmeyer got a run. So I mean, that's a
Yeah,
positive.
Hetmeyer is doing
that's
well,
true.
which is great to see.
But
somebody
is
providing this.
Stoinis
That's
out
where
for
again
playoffs?
Stoinis comes in.
No, he's
Stoinis-
not confirmed
Yes.
out for the playoffs, but hasn't.
But
played
if
for a while.
Stoinis comes back, it will be a big boost.
Mostly he will be
to-
out.
Yeah,
he
because
needs to
anyways,
come
Delhi is
back,
playing with
otherwise-
3 foreigners only. They have
No,
a
they are
slot
playing
for
Smith. No,
Yeah.
Last game
Smith
Smith didn't
drops,
play. Ripple
yeah.
Patel
It was
Yeah.
blocked for this guy Ripple Patel, new guy.
who made 18 of 20.
But the only worry part of Delhi is after the first 4 batsmen, if you include Yuvan Shaw,
exactly.
Iyer and Pant. I don't have that confidence that they have enough depth in their batting. And
That's where Stoinis could be handy, or if Stoinis is not fit,
And
then
if you're
Smith
sending
could play at
Ashwin
three.
above, they sent Ashwin above Shimran Hetmeyer, that backfired.
You also have Akshar
So
Patel, man.
at this point, see, we got to realize that all the teams that have made to the playoffs, then none of them have batting beyond top 4. So even if you look
Like
at
on these
RCB,
pitches, even I think like
CSK though is
struggling,
only
so-
Faf and Ruturaj. I mean, uske aage kuch nahi hai. Moeen Ali, if he fires. Otherwise, CSK is just going on.
No,
Faf
but
and
Jadeja
Ruturaj.
is there, no.
Jadeja comes at 6. So like from 2 to 6, there is-
7.
Yeah, so
7.
again,
Uh,
2 to 7.
But first
no one is
phase,
there.
it was all Moeen Ali masterclass, man.
But now that's the
He
whole
was
point.
pretty good in first phase.
So the whole thing is that
Yeah.
On these pitches,
that are
like
in the
most
playoff.
middle orders are struggling, pitches are slowing
Yeah.
down, but you can get runs in the power play.
Hey,
So I
CSK
think
would be
that's-
best
it's
to
just
push Jadeja
bowling,
at
you
number
have to
6.
restrict the opposition more than you score. I think that's
CSK should push Jadeja to number 6 and ask Dhoni to bat at number 11. I think that way
I think
that will be
if
perfect.
it actually matters, Dhoni would have come below. Like first phase when every point mattered, Dhoni used to come at 7, even 8. I think last match he probably thought we'll probably get top 2. So, treat
Yeah,
it as a bet.
So looking at the table, top
Mm.
2 is fixed, like CSK and Delhi, because RCB lost today, and the net run rate is too much to make that comeback.
92 all out.
Yeah, I don't think
RR,
so.
RR Mumbai yaad hai na?
But for top 2, I don't think so that would happen. I
No,
don't.
Yeah, that's too much of
DCCSK is
a.
fixed.
Yeah, so
They have to win by
DCCSK.
like 200 runs or something.
Yeah,
The
so DCCSK
margin
is
is
fixed.
too.
Now the major talking point comes is I would like to start with our latecomer, the big Samson fan here, Darshi. Samson has been shutting all the hitters down in the second leg with his performance. So I would like to ask Darshi, like, who do you
That's
think?
why
is the-
Darshil joined 5-10 minutes late. He was preparing his diatribe against Sanju Samson.
Sanju Samson.
And
Darshil-
now though he's not like even Sharjah Samson. Now Sharjah is the worst batting pitch, and still he's consistently scoring runs.
But yeah, Darshil. So who do you think has a better chance at finishing fourth? So KKR face Rajasthan Royals and MI face SRH, who defeated RCB comfortably today. Like, if you say, like, I think SRH did pretty well. So who do you think, looking at the fixtures, who do you think has a better chance of facing RCB in that eliminator match?
I mean, it's a logic says that it should be Calcutta. That's like what logic dictates. But
Good,
then
yeah.
it's Mumbai
Clarification.
Indians. You never know with them what they can do. Logically, I mean, and Calcutta deserves to make it to the playoffs. They have been phenomenal after this restart. Coming to Samson, I think he has performed admirably in the second half of this tournament, and to the extent that I would rather, if Ishan Kishan does not find form, or if we could also take Samson as a reserve keeper, why not? I mean, if Ishan Kishan is struggling for runs, still the only advantage Ishan Kishan at this point has over Samson is that Ishan Kishan can bat in the middle order and is a left-hander. So
And he can
also
open.
well
He's
bat
a
in the
backup
middle
opener.
order too.
yeah, like he can float around across the pitch. Matlab,
Yeah,
across, like-
Everybody in the India team is a backup opener. Literally every single specialist
Yeah,
batsman can
yeah.
open the batting. So that's not really.
Samson can
Exactly.
do that
So-
too.
so left- so
Samson
as a
can do
Samson
that.
used to open. Kohli can open.
Has
Surya
Samson
Kumar
opened?
Yeah.
for Mumbai.
Samson opened,
Yeah,
yeah,
Samson
for
used to
Rajasthan
open
for
for
a long
Rajasthan.
time.
Yeah, Samson has opened. Yeah, Samson has opened.
Surya Kumar opened in 2018. Pant was a natural opener.
Yes.
Everybody can open
So
in T20.
Darshil is with KKR, correct?
Yeah, I think logically it makes sense for KKR. They have found another year out of the blue.
But then
So-
I think people have started finding his little weakness. He has been not able to perform in last 3 matches. I think he had like
yeah.
20 or
Maybe
70.
he is also like Nitish Rana.
Yeah, not
performed
Nitish
his first
Rana.
4
The-
games.
Nitish Rana
Hope-
should not be talked about as far
Hopefully
as
Shubman Gill
top
stops.
cricketers go. Please, Nitish Rana is
Yeah, I
a
think
because
really
Nitish
great
Rana
cricketer as
starts
far
really
as I'm
well
concerned.
and then fizzles out now. Venkatesh. Yeah. Maybe KKR should just have like rotation.
But Iyer is a decent bowler too.
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
did a
he was
pretty good
bowling
I
in the
mean,
death. He was bowling
theoretically,
Yorker
if you
after
look
that.
at it, KKR
Yeah.
should make the cut because KKR also has a non-performing captain. So, in terms of all the teams that have made to the playoffs, the captains have been woefully out of form. Dhoni has been out of
Yes.
form. Kohli has been
So
out of
that is
form.
the reason why Mumbai is not doing well, because Rohit
Yeah,
is
Rohit is
in
in
form.
form. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
He's
exactly.
an anomaly.
No.
That's why Rajasthan Samson
Second-
is in form.
No, but I think every time Rohit is top scorer of Mumbai, they never win the title or they never go
Maybe
far.
that
It-
tells
it's-
you
it-
that the others are not performing.
Yeah, so but
Rohit is
but
top
when
scorer.
Rohit is not performing, we reach final. But when Rohit is performing, we never reach final.
Very
It's
odd.
al- It's
So
always
Rohit
like
performed
that.
as a captain, no? That's why.
2019 World Cup, Rohit was top scorer. India didn't reach final.
That is what I'm telling. So Rohit should not score runs.
Right. I think again, like Darshil was saying, KKR really should make it because, I mean, after that spanking RR got, I don't know how they're going to recover. I mean, if they recover and somehow former MI player Evan Lewis has a blinder, who knows? Because KKR, like, they're playing much better, but they're a team prone to a lot of errors. I mean,
Samson will also be up for it because it's his
Yeah.
last World T20 audition.
that's
He should
true.
also open the batting like Kishan.
And he has been betting sensibly.
No. I
in
think
the-
no. I
in
think
the
it makes
second.
sense to
Yeah,
let
continue
let
with
Rishabh
Jaiswal and-
let Rishabh was telling. Yeah, Rishabh, tell Samson was.
No, I mean that Samson has been sensible in the second phase. He has been betting pretty well.
Yeah, he has been not giving his
ऐसे
wicket
लपटे
away
नहीं
like.
घुमा रहा, अच्छा खेल रहा है.
हाँ,
Yeah,
मतलब वो
yeah, exactly.
पहले
He's
क्या
been
था कि
building an
मजे
innings and then
हाँ,
going big, understanding
Yeah,
that
yeah,
Rajasthan
yeah.
batting lineup is not the strongest.
मतलब no one has ever denied
He's
that
looking
Samson.
like he wants to play big.
But no one has ever denied that he doesn't have talent. The only critic is he always throws his wicket away and is like very
And
insensible when
actually,
it comes
that was
to
by
batting.
intention. Like Samson previously has said that I can do like the accumulation part. I can do it if I want to. I just don't want to. He said that I would rather score a 200 than 825.
He
And
has
zeros
the
in
same
other
problem Rohit
But he is
Sharma
not
had
scoring
in his career.
825s also, right? That's the problem.
Matlab, that's like that was actually
True.
by intention, his mentality before. So I guess maybe it's Sangakkara, maybe it's captaincy. Something
So,
has finally
Two people
given
are
him.
with KKR. Rishabh, what do you think? Who has a
But
better chance?
just a question: KKR,
Yeah.
if they anyhow if they win, they qualify. Is it like that, or
Mumbai have to win
No,
in like
no.
9 overs if KKR
Something
win by
very,
negligible
very
margin.
outrageous margins.
If
basically.
KKR wins, I think it's
So
over for
completely
Mumbai.
possible for Mumbai.
if KKR wins, then I can think that Mr.
No,
Ambani
it's possible
will be,
for Mumbai, right?
Yeah, it's possible,
that
but the
It is
scenario
possible.
will be 9 or 10 overs you have to chase or something like that. So
Oh, I would favor Mumbai
it will
in
be
that
an-
case than a 20 over team.
Another Corey Anderson movement will happen.
yeah, and
another
they have
Aditya
Nisham
Tare.
as a New Zealander who's there.
Aditya
So,
Tare
a
will play
left-hander.
instead of Kishan.
But it's interesting like how
No,
this
I mean-
tournament. So I believe it has been the most open tournament ever. Like when you see about the top four,
Correct.
not top four. If you talk about the last two places, till the last few matches you had it like open. Like many people
Right,
were like,
that's
I
true.
remember 5, 6, 7 at the time were at same points, or maybe even third place
Last
was.
season, the bottom team was 12 points and fourth was 14 points. So
Yeah,
like, whole
12,
table was so
12.
close.
I think in the end,
Like,
Mumbai's
everybody was
defeat
2
to
points off
RCB was
qualification.
quite damaging to the net run rate. I think it was a 50 odd runs. I think that really damaged their net run rate. If they had lost it by say 30 runs less, they'd probably be with a decent shout to qualify. I think that really hurt them.
Yeah. So Rishabh, what do you think? Who do you think has a better chance?
Yeah, see, Mumbai Indians team on paper is the best T20 team in the world. Definitely. You see, 6 out of 7 Indian players are there in
I
World
hope
Cup
you are
team.
not considering Krunal in this list. It
Foreigners-
should not be any.
The seventh
Yeah,
player is now.
yeah. I
Mayank
told
Yadav.
6 out of 7. I told
अच्छा।
6 out of 7 means जो उनकी कंसिस्टेंट टीम होती है उसमें से कृणाल को हटा के जो बाकी के 6 वो सारे वर्ल्ड कप टीम में है. And the 4 foreigners, Pollard, West Indies captain, Quinton de Kock and Bolt, all are world class players. So I mean, team wise, Mumbai Indians is the strongest team, and I think that they will qualify. And then Ambani, so yeah.
After Ambani, there's Rishabh Agrawal. So yeah, if you guys don't know, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
Abhi, like, he
the
is
season
Also,
has been
I
lost
personally feel that
exotic
if it
rookies,
comes,
so,
if it comes down
That's
to that,
why
I think Shah
Rishabh
Rukh
is
Khan
looking
already
down
has
on
lost
his
the
phone.
size of
Ambani ka
fortune
text
trying to
aaya.
extract talent. So.
Rishabh is getting tips.
No, but I would really like
No.
one of the major calls that Mumbai Indians took last game was to drop Quinton de Kock, because it's been ages that Quinton de Kock has been dropped. Like I don't
Or even
remember the.
Krunal Pandya got dropped.
I am
Like,
Kunal is
True.
that is fine still, but taking that major call of dropping Quinton de Kock, who has been okay, I would say not great, but he has been okay. Like I would say
It was honestly a good call because
no, but
Quinton de
it's a
Kock,
courageous call. I
yeah,
would say
that's
a
true. But
brave call.
Yeah, Mumbai usually do
Mumbai
not
dropped,
make those kind
yeah,
of calls.
but
They stick
Mumbai
with their
dropped
players.
even Kishan just to give him a kick up the backside. So I guess they're not
They do
afraid
that
to
every
take
year.
such
They've
calls.
done it
Yeah.
2019, 2020. Annual.
And let's be honest, de Kock is a very good
True,
player,
true,
but he's
true.
very poor against spin. Everyone just bowls spin to him early on, especially off spin, and he gives his wicket sometime or the other. So
Especially in
I think
UAE.
yes.
tends to
So I
struggle
think that's a good move.
Yeah, but that was a good move. Like, but you don't generally bench your like one of the star players. Like,
Yeah, Mumbai is not a team who experiments too much. They always have their template
True.
that
Yeah.
is fixed and
So,
it works.
but I think that really worked because I think the pitches, they have realized the pitches, they need one extra seamer who can bowl those cutters in Jamie Nisham. Even if he's not a world class bowler, but he's someone who is very good in doing those. Like you see Harshal Patel getting 3 wickets and people are howling
Yeah.
that get him into the world squad, world T20
Especially with
squad.
Hardik Pandya forgetting
Yeah,
So-
bowl.
yeah, that's right. I think Mumbai Indians have not read the situation this year in UAE well enough, and even in the India phase, they were very unimpressive, to be honest. That
Even in India, they
Well,
were playing in
But it
Yeah.
could
top
also be
5
a
games
factor
out of
that they are
7. So
like
they were
facing,
basically
the
playing in
winners
UAE.
fatigue.
yeah,
Could be
yeah,
missing-
winners,
I mean,
that's
like
true.
they have won a lot. I mean, the team probably.
Yeah,
will be
that
getting
just-
good, like,
the
A
motivation
hat-trick
to
would have
win.
been a hat trick of IPL would have been just crazy. So I think eventually, yeah. So
But
that's
I
why I
think-
see them missing
I
out.
think the major disfactor was for Mumbai was they were they are someone who always starts slow and they find the form. Like they take time to settle in. They were looking good in the last 2 matches in the Indian phase and then it got stopped. I think that is also one of the factor that is affecting Mumbai because they always tend to start slow, little bit, 2-3 matches
but
to get into the rhythm and once.
But letting CSK from 24 for 4 to get to that 156, I think that was really a
But
killer. I
but
mean,
that is
had
according.
Mumbai won that game comfortably, I think
That
they'd
is even,
probably
but
end
you
top two.
cannot deny how good Ruturaj has been. Like he has
Yeah,
not had a
brilliant,
score of less
brilliant.
than 30, I believe.
no,
Yes,
we
I think
recently had
it's also
15.
the motivation issues could also be true. We've seen in so many sports that teams who don't like even if they're dominant and at the top, if they don't like refresh or like make changes, stagnancy can set in. Mumbai made absolutely no changes. Just
But-
in
but
cricket.
similarly,
Also,
the
all of them
middle
have
order-
kind of hit a bad patch, like at the same time. Like you see, like
So why like every
Yeah,
but
team
middle
would
order
have that
totally
motivation
struggling
Yeah,
now.
side
all the
that
important
nobody's
players,
fresh.
Ishan Kishan, Surya Kumar, have all
Surya,
gone out of form
Kishan,
at the same time.
Pollard, Hardik.
Yeah, so like
Everybody's
all
struggling.
of them, like that sense of complacency can hit. Like Nisham came in for his first game, did so well. Kishan got dropped, came back.
and
did so
Coulter
well.
like I don't know why Milne was
Coulter
even
came back,
like
did so well.
I don't expect
was in
team
deep
like
freeze
Mumbai
for-
to make those decisions reading those pitches. Like one game you can make that mistake and you see the pitches is slow. Like Coulter is someone who has a lot of variation, but Milne is raw pace with no variation. Is I would say I have never
and
liked.
Coulter was a bigger money buy also, and he can bat also. I was really surprised that Milne was starting. in the first place. I'm
You don't
assuming
know if it
Coulter
was
will
an
play
injury or something, but I'm not sure if it
because
was.
he is always injured.
Yeah. So good so far. So also I like to spend the last 5-7 minutes on just looking at those Twitter bandwagon, like people are reactionary lineup for T20 World Cup. Do you think
One
anyone?
point I would like to add.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, one point I would like to add that KKR would be missing the firepower and X factor of Russell. So
That
That
they
would
were
be
training.
interesting that if
Ferguson
we-
and
if
Lockie,
they could-
Ferguson and Russell were training now, so maybe
yes, yeah,
they are
yeah. So
feeding him something
it would
to
be
be back for
commendable
the
if
last
they
game.
would make the playoffs.
Even
After missing out. those two
even
big
rumors are
players.
Varun Chakravarti is also out. He has been playing with a knee injury, so I think he might also be out.
Even last
mean,
season that happened, Russell was out injured and then somehow he
Varun
came back and
Chakravarti
then
in
last
the
game, but
Indian
it was
squad
not.
for me is again that's the reason
I
why
mean,
he's
at this point,
a
you
big.
have to bring in Chahal. I mean, at this point,
Yeah.
it's a no-brainer. The
I mean, if
way
Chahal can't make Mumbai Indians team, how is he supposed to make India team?
No, so that is what. So do you like? There have been a lot of talks ongoing that bring Harshal Patel, bring
यार
Ruturaj,
वो ज्यादा हो
bring
गया
bring
Zyada
Samson,
ho gaya.
etc.
I think
But do you like we'll go one by one. We'll start with Darshil. Do you think, like, looking at the last 1 year, not just the 6 games of IPL, so and looking at overall last 1 year, do you think like anyone deserves to be left out of a squad for someone who has done well in 4 to 5 games? Will it be harsh on someone who has been doing well since past 1 year?
no.
What do you
So
think?
I think see IPL performances should be should be deciding your squad. They should not be deciding your 11, right? So let's say if someone has had a tremendous IPL, he should be a part of the squad or should travel with the reserves. I mean that's how he doesn't walk into your 11. So for example, I mean it makes absolutely no sense to drop Chahal right now. Like Chahal was bad in the first phase of IPL. He has been tremendous in the last 6 games, but if we go a bit further back, he was very good in Sri Lanka as well. He was
he
pretty
has the
decent.
international experience.
He has international experience. He has been a big match player. So
But if
it
Chal
doesn't make
comes
sense.
in, who goes out?
Varun Chakravarti for me. I mean, Varun
Easy.
Chakravarti.
Fast spinner,
There has
yeah.
been no evidence as such to suggest that he is a bowler without which India cannot function. He has not.
Not just the bowling part, his fitness is so bad for an international cricketer. I mean,
Yeah.
after 2 overs, he's getting tired. Now he's having knee pain. Then he failed the yo-yo test, and I'm not surprised. I mean, nothing against him, but he doesn't come
Correct.
across as that at that level of cricket.
But then you have Ravi Ashwin too. Means I wouldn't
Again,
think
you have
Ravi
to count
Ashwin
some
over Varun
experience as
Chakravarti.
well. No, so that's the whole point. Like if you have got, you want to take players in your team who have experience. So I mean, Ashwin would still. I mean, I'm still fine with it because we don't have a Washington Sundar. So let's say if we want to play an extra spinner, off spinner, then probably Ashwin. I mean, that's what I'm. You know,
I don't
Ashwin is
think
not a
Ashwin
part
is
of the
there.
11. I mean, he's good to have in the squad. My point is that your IPL performances over the last 6 games should affect your squad calculations, not your 11. I think the 11 should probably be set much more
We
in
have 3
advance.
more days to change our squad selection. So
I
So
think the
for
deadline
Darshil,
got
it's
extended. You can even change
Definitely
after 10.
Chahal should come in
for
for sure.
Chakravarti. Any other changes that you would?
No, I mean Iyer is in the reserves. He's still looking short of match practice. I mean, it would be great to have him, but maybe not. I'm on the fence about that. Iyer as in like Shreyas Iyer. Okay, I'll be very
Yeah,
clear here.
obviously.
So that's not. Let's not. I mean, the other Venkatesh here, he has been phenomenal, but that's like too soon for him. I think that's not the way
Okay,
he should
we'll
do
go
it.
to City.
So
City,
no one
what do you
else.
think?
Yeah.
Anyone
So-
that makes the cut for you?
Personally, the changes I would I
Apart
would
from
make
what
personally-
Darshil mentioned about
Personally,
Chahal.
I would make 3 changes. I would get Samson in for Kishan. I think Samson is not in the category of a Harshal Patel, Gaikwad, who have just performed for a few months. Samson has shown flashes for years, and now he developed something. So it's not that it could be a flash in the pan. And I think like Kishan has looked clearly out of form. Mumbai have indicated that he has had like attitude issues as well. So I personally think that like Samson be a better pick and like still provides that wild card option in the middle order who can tee off from ball one, and now he's showing different things. Second change I would make is Chahal for Chahal. I mean Varun Chakravarti's fitness issue, right? He is capable to play. I think I would keep him simply because he offers something different to the other spinners. While Chahal you can't really play together with Jadeja as well. There's like 3 bowlers who provide the same angle. So like left-handers would feast on that. So I think Jadeja, Varun, and Chahal would be my starting 3 spinners, and Ashwin would come in if the opposition has left hand.
Okay, Rishabh and
heavy.
Pranav, any other apart from what they've mentioned, do you think that make the cut?
I would like to get someone like a Deepak Chahar. I mean, a fast
Oh, yeah.
bowler.
मेरा ही बात
One
वही
change,
है,
another
Arjun
change
के
I
लिए.
would make is Shardul Thakur over Bhuvneshwar Kumar also. Like Shardul
Yeah,
Thakur
I mean,
has
a
looked so
Shardul
impressive.
Thakur would also do. Yeah, a Shardul Thakur would also do. I mean, same a Deepak Chahar or a Shardul Thakur for me. For anyone. Ravi Ashwin or even Bhuvneshwar Kumar. I don't know.
I personally
I
feel
just
पहले
don't
लगता था
think
शार्दुल
that
ठाकुर
Bhuvneshwar
is just
whatever
lucky to
happens-
get those wickets. Now he is showing like skill, like UAE leg management, terrific.
True.
I
And he is
last
very
year,
handy with
whatever
the bat.
happens,
Greatest
whatever
SR10.
happens,
Greatest ST10.
UZ Chahal and Deepak Chahar should make the squad. Whatever happens,
Yeah.
whether you have to drop Ashwin and Chakravarti or Ashwin and Shami, whoever these 2 guys have to make the squad.
Why
I think,
Shami?
like I said, Shami at international
Shami-
level in T20 has not been very good, and his
He hasn't
death
played
bowling
a
is
lot of international
extremely-
T20 cricket.
Yeah.
But his death bowling also is
Then-
extremely inconsistent. I would not have him in the squad.
Shami
if you
picks
ask me.
up 50% or 70. There's a stat that he picks up wickets in the 17th or 20th overs. So
But that's because
last
he's
2
picking
years
up
has been
scraps.
very great.
He picks up wicket, but he goes for a lot of runs as well.
But
he's not a person you can depend on in the
to
death
be
overs.
to be frank,
But
I
I
believe
don't think that we would start Bhuvneshwar over Shami at this point.
Yeah,
Never.
I
For
would
me,
rather
maybe
take
not.
on
For me,
Shami than
never.
Bhuvneshwar.
But I'd prefer Shami bowling
Yeah.
all his overs at the start.
what
rather
I think
than him bowling in the
Piyush was
last.
saying something. What Piyush?
but what I think personally is like people are thinking like we will expect a lot of changes, but I don't think
Yeah,
so.
they
There will
won't
be a
be.
lot of
I
changes.
would
At
expect
max
one,
one or two.
maybe two
I-
changes.
I-
Two max.
Even if
Two
that.
max.
2 is too much, I believe. The one
Chahal
is
is definitely getting in.
I mean,
Chahal
2
is
will be the
definitely
maximum changes you will see, but not more
But-
than
Yeah,
that.
Chahal
Yeah.
is probably the most likely
but
change.
yeah, I would
Chahal
see
is-
Chahal
yeah.
coming in, but I don't think Rahul Chahar will be dropped because he's
Yeah,
someone who
I
has
don't
been
want him to drop
who-
Chahar. I don't.
Yeah,
I don't-
because I think he has been
But-
backed by the senior players Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli, because obviously
And
they would
Rohit
have
Sharma उसे अपनी franchise में नहीं खिलाता.
no. The thing is because we were facing us two sides who are heavy left-handers like you.
Yeah, but
See,
if you are good
Rajasthan,
enough, then you should
you
play
see
against.
that-
कहने का
no.
मतलब है सिद्धार्थ ने जो पॉइंट आउट किया 2 लेग स्पिनर तो साथ में नहीं खिलाओगे आप.
हाँ, though you won't
वो
have
बात
two
उसकी
leg
सही
spinner,
है.
but I think what will happen is
with Jadeja as the third
in
spinner as
international,
well.
I don't think so. There are a lot of
Yeah,
sides
Jadeja.
who have too much left-handers in their lineup. Apart from maybe England, I don't.
England
India
has
के
quite a
group
few.
is Pakistan mostly right-handers. and
Yeah, so
New
if you
Zealand.
look at the combination, you won't see a lot of left-handers in a single
West
team.
Indies also have 3. West
But
Indies
West
also have
Indies
3.
तो like-
Lewis,
Hetmeyer,
Gale,
Pooran.
Pooran, Hetmeyer,
But
theirs is
they-
all left-handed.
But they play
Yeah.
spin well, I believe. Like they don't get trouble with spin a lot, is what I think. But that is the thing. But I would say it will be harsh on a few of the guys who have been selected. If you drop them, it will be very, very harsh on them because
It would be harsh on Chahal too.
you can't drop people based on 5 games because you have selected a playing 15 or a 16 based on the last 1 year performance, and they have earned their spot. It's not like someone undeserving got there. Maybe you can argue about Varun
But
Chakravarti
Chahal-
because
Chahal
then-
is not 5-6 games
yeah,
player. He's
I
really
was,
good.
but I think the major talking point was even they didn't expect the pitches to be that slow. Like if you compare the pitches of last year IPL,
Correct.
it was something which offered a lot for someone like Rahul Chahar, who had a lot of things. But here, because he's a UZ Chahal is someone who gets a turn, and in the slow wicket he's getting more from the pitch than what Chahar does. So that might be a thinking, but you like as we are speaking, the pitches might change, so you never know. But I think maximum if we get to see will be a
Chahal
one
has
odd
done
change.
well on Chinnaswamy for years though. So I don't think that should be too much of a bother for him.
Yeah, and it's good if Chahal is getting back to form. I'll be more than happy to see him in the squad. But let's see what happens. So yeah, so one final thought. So who are playing the finals in a second? Siddharth, who do you think will reach the finals?
Delhi and Chennai.
Pranav.
Last 3 years have been 1 and 2 playing each other 4 times. I think same is going to happen again.
Pranav.
I'll say DC and RCB.
Okay.
New winner this time.
Rishabh.
Yeah, Delhi RCB and Delhi winning it.
Darshil.
Yeah, Delhi RCB and Delhi winning it.
I would say Delhi versus Mumbai. Mumbai again winning it.
अगर ये हो गया मैं IPL नहीं देख रहा
Yeah. Guys, Piyush, just please be aware, NCB तेरे घर पे भी रेड कर सकता है इस सेक्शन
No, but I think it will be DC versus KKR. DC versus CSK. Jokes apart, it will be DC versus CSK. Dhoni lifting it once again.
finishing it off in style 10 years.
And,
And
that's
the
the
internet
dream.
needs to be, and we need Zuckerberg to have another outage of Facebook, WhatsApp, and Instagram. Just
that
to save
happens.
humanity.
Many
And
Thala
along
fans
with
will
that,
be more
Jack
worried.
Dorsey
in the
also
final
needs
and
to
then
put
he is the
Twitter down.
replacement.
We need
position
social
in the
media
squad.
down for that day because
So,
that will
yeah.
be absolutely horrible.
So
Thala
great.
Sons will go crazy on that day.
Dhoni becomes captain in World T20 also.
And
No.
there's that page of Morgan. No, नाम बड़े और दर्शन छोटे. Evan Morgan. नाम बड़े और दर्शन छोटे. So yeah, that was pretty much it, guys, from our end. A lovely discussion. Hopefully to see you guys after the IPL finals, where we'll be recapping the whole entire IPL for you, and we'll be discussing about the finals. We'll see if we can pull it another episode in between before the finals. But yeah.
Give you World T20 after the
Yeah,
IPL.
and it's a huge cricketing
Do
season.
follow.
So if you have not yet subscribed to our channel, do subscribe because we have managed to get a legend like Rishabh Agrawal We had to take his appointment from last 8 months since we started.
My pleasure sharing the screen with all of you legends, man. My pleasure.
So yeah, guys, please do share, like, and subscribe, and do comment if you have any review feedback for us. Yeah, thank you everyone. Stay
Thank you
safe.
guys.
Take
Stay
care.
safe. Yep. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye bye.